Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Hi people, hi darlings, you are welcome to our channel. Yes, as you can probably see from the title, today is going to be a very interesting day. Are you guys ready for the gist? Okay, I'm going to see you shortly then. Yay! You're welcome back to this channel, to our channel. My name is Morayo Ahunanya, and together with you, we host this channel. We're currently on a journey called the latest Nigerian mommy in town, where using me as a case study, we've been talking about conception, pregnancy, delivery, and very soon we'll be talking about parenthood in Nigeria, here in Nigeria. But if you're outside Nigeria, you can still learn one or two things from it. And why is this platform, or why is latest Nigerian mommy in town running? During my pregnancy, I realized that not so many Nigerians put out content that is related to this, and I wanted that. I looked for it, I needed it. So I'm trying to fill that void. But funny enough, I'm seeing a lot of people doing that now. So yay! Power to these people, or to the people that are doing that. Okay, so yeah, today is a very interesting day, and a lot of you have been asking me to do this, actually, to come and share my birth story. Morayo, come and tell us your own birth story now. How about? And I was looking for the perfect time, and I just feel like today, this hour is the perfect time to share with you. This week that just passed was very significant for me. It was the week where my significant other, added another year. Woohoo, yeah. And it was also the week where I had a remembrance for my mom, who passed away 8 years this week. Okay, so it was a week with different emotions, and I'm like, why not end it, well, it's the start of a new week, or honor it by sharing a beautiful story of life, because it was the celebration of life and death, beautiful story of life, the birth of my baby, of my son Joshua. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am to listen. It's been almost a year, so I might miss a detail or two, but I'm going to try. Okay, so my baby was born on Wednesday, the 25th of November 2020, last year, in the heat of different things, COVID and the riot, the Nigerian NSAS thing. So he was born in that period, okay? And honestly, a child being born in a pandemic, a child being born in where there's an upsurge or an unrest in the country, that whole period was very interesting. But I'm just going to talk particularly about the day of his birth. Prior to the day of his birth, my baby was born on his due date, by the way. He was born on the day where the hospital, big hospital, said he was going to be born. The two hospitals, one of them gave us a specific date, and that was 25th of November 2020, and another hospital gave us the week, that he was going to be born, either the last week of November or the first or second week of December. That was what the small hospital told us, but the big hospital gave us a specific date, and that was 25th of November. And I was, I'd also received some kind of confirmation in my spirit that I was going to give birth to him on the 25th of December. So for some reason, I was actually patient. I was looking forward to seeing him on the day of on his due date, 40th week. Okay, so on that morning, the day before, as I said, I was expecting him to come. I had some spiritual confirmation, so I was expecting him to come on that day. So the day before, I didn't have any contractions or anything like that. It was a normal week. I had not even had Braxton Hicks that week. Funny enough, the week was a good week. It was a normal good week. Husband was still working from home, normal, usual things happening. I'd woken up earlier that morning because I was just excited. I knew I was going to meet my baby that day. So I'd woken up around 7 a.m. My husband wakes up earlier because he has to go to work. So, but on normal day, I sleep in late because I sleep late in the night. But that day, I didn't. I slept earlier the day before, so I woke up around 7 a.m. And then my mother-in-law called. My mother-in-law likes to call early. My mother-in-law, she calls very often, so she called me that morning around 8:30 a.m. and she was even surprised that I was up. So we spoke for a while. We actually spoke for a while. She asked how am I. I said I'm fine. She also asked when she was going to come for Omugo, and I actually wanted her to, take her time before coming. Personal reasons. So I told her she should come. She would come on Saturday of that week. That was Wednesday that she would come on Saturday of that week. Okay. So she was like, okay, no problem. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the baby will not have come before, because they also were aware of the due date, and we told them of the time range of the baby's delivery. Oh, baby will not have come. I want to see the baby come. I want to this. I just told her, don't worry. Somewhere in my heart, I knew, mommy, you're going to miss the delivery, but you'll still be here to take care of your grandchild. So we finished talking. I think I spoke to my dad also, another friend and family that morning, and by that time I was already feeling a bit of the contractions. Now there are 3 stages. Have we talked about labor on this channel? If not, we will talk about labor the following week. There are 3 stages. There's the beginning phase, which you have light, mild contractions. There's the median where things get more serious, and then there's the last stage where you can do absolutely nothing. Okay, where you're just in pains. So I was still in that beginning phase where contractions is coming. I'm not so. It's staged. It's paced. It's evenly spaced, but it's not so often, and it's not so serious. Okay, we will talk about how contractions feels in the following weeks. So I was having contractions, evenly spaced contractions, from about that time that I spoke to my mom-in-law, and it was about 30-45 minutes apart. So I just, like I watched in I watched when it wasn't so painful, like I watched on TCM birthing class, that you should try to wait out contractions as much as you can till it starts getting serious. Then you should go to the hospital. So I waited it out. Then at about 12, I went to meet my husband. I ate breakfast though. Ate breakfast, my usual bread, egg, and tea. That was what I ate almost throughout pregnancy. At some point it was chicken, at some point it was bread, egg, and tea. So I ate my usual. My sister was also in the house. She was attending her classes. Nobody felt anything was out of place. So at 12 noon, I went to meet my husband. I said, sweetie, please get the car ready. We'll be leaving for the hospital at about 1. He's like, why? I'm like, I'm feeling contractions. It's like, let's go now. You know the way husbands can be. Let's go now. Let's go now. This one that you say you're feeling. You've never said you're feeling contract, and I'd never. The only time I said that I was feeling contractions was one time when I had one serious Braxton Hicks like that. We'll talk about Braxton Hicks too next week. I had one serious Braxton Hicks. That was the only time I talked, and he was like, you know, you talked about contractions. I said, yes, I'm having contractions. He said, have you timed it? Because he was also aware of the timing thing. He said, have you timed it? I said, yes, it's coming 30 minutes back to back, 30 minutes. I've been timing it for a while now. He said, let's go to the hospital. I said, no, just chill. It's not serious. I'm not feeling pains. So at about 1 o'clock to be exact, no, some minutes to 1, I changed into a different gown. I wore my red dress. If I find the video, I'll insert it. I wore a red dress. I said, okay, I'm ready for the hospital now. I'm not wearing earrings so that I don't pull it out, this and that. Oh, I wish I could wear contact lenses, but I'll just wear my glasses, this and that. It was just looking at me. I said, I'll carry the bag. Oh, yeah, let's go, this and that. Baby, get ready to take pictures. Oh. I was just like, are you sure you are? I said, yeah. So when we got to the hospital, because of how easily I just walked in and everything, I even went to, that was small clinic. Now prior to this, I actually wanted to have my delivery in big clinic, because the ambience is very good for pictures. And I wanted to do all those pictures, paparazzi things. In big clinic looks like a broad hospital is very fine. Small clinic is just small clinic. You probably will see the pictures there in small clinic, So I wanted to give birth in big clinic, but the way the OBGYN, responded when I went at 36 weeks, she didn't even have my file. It was just too nonchalant. I'm like, I cannot risk my life and this child's life. I cannot put it in this kind of person's hand, And so that was why I decided to have my delivery in small clinic. And small clinic was way, 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 way more expensive, but I'm glad I had it there because there were many interventions that they had. As you can see in the title, assisted vaginal delivery. I had an assisted delivery, and I don't even know, well, let me not judge. I don't know if I could have had that kind of treatment in the clinic. I just thank God. So moving on, when we got to the small clinic, when we got to the hospital, because of the way I walked in, my husband too walked in, and we said, they asked, oh, today is not your, it was supposed to be like the next day or so, today is not your day for, what do you call it, your regular checkup, so what are you doing in the hospital? And I said, oh, I think that I'm going to have the baby today. The way I was even talking, I was even stammering myself, this and that. The nurse was just looking at me. Okay, so she kept me sitting for a while. The doctor wasn't around, there were other doctors, but the main doctor, my main OBGYN wasn't around. So they were not really, we got, the hospital wasn't far from our house, so it took like 15 minutes. So we got to the hospital around 1:10, 1:15. So we sat down there. They were not answering us by 1:30. My husband was like, he asked me, is your contraction, is it still coming? Yes, that's how he went and inquired for them. So this lady is having contractions. You are not serious, please, kini-corn. And he's a very quiet person, so they're now like, oh, okay. They now told me to come. They took my vitals, that's what they call it. They took my vitals, they checked and everything. They said, okay, with my gown like that, just come into, a doctor will come and check you. Before the doctor came, it was to 2 to come and check me. So by then I was still having the contractions, but the pain was bearable. I guess because, I don't know, maybe because on normal day I don't have a high threshold for pain. I hate needles, I hate anything that causes me, I cry at the sight of needles, right? But I guess because I sometimes I had menstrual pain. The pain was similar to that, so I could bear it. Menstrual pain had been way worse. I had worse kinds of menstrual pain than what I was feeling at that time. So I could bear it. I was even telling my husband to take pictures, this and that. But when the contractions come, now at this point, the contractions were coming like 15 minutes apart. And they were kind of strong. And I'm like, where is the doctor? So the doctor came eventually, a male doctor. He came eventually. And then he checked, he put his hand and checked. And when he put his hand, it was so painful, God. And that's how he said, this madam is 6 cm gone, oh. Well, like 6 cm, okay, what would that mean? 6 cm, okay. And this was around what, till 2. That's how we called the main doctor. She was in by like 2. Then he strapped me to sonic aid machine, just to hear the heartbeat of the child. They put a drip on my hand, and I was still on the regular bed. There's a birthing bed, but I was on the regular bed now. So because I'm a first-time mom, it is expected that your delivery time will be longer. In fact, the man was actually surprised that I came in and I was 6 cm, and he's like, how did you do it and everything? And they know me, they know that I don't like needles, they know me in the hospital, etc. So anyways, at about they strapped me to that machine. They were looking at me. They will come in, and they will go. They say, if there's anything serious, just alert the nurses. They will alert the doctors. So at about 4 p.m. or to 4, yeah, because the doctor came in 4. At 4 p.m. things started getting crazy. Things started getting serious. Me that I was laughing before with my husband, I could not laugh again. The contractions started getting, very, very back-to-back-ish. Like, it was now like 1 minute, 2 minutes apart, and they would last for a while. the ones that were 30 minutes apart will last for like 30 seconds and things will ease back into normal. And then the ones that were like 15 minutes too, they will last for a minute and then things will ease back into. But this one was like 1 minute apart, and then the contractions will last for like a minute. And I will literally hold things and be groaning. I'm moaning and my voice was loud and everything. Oh yeah, I'm the part of this. I'm the screaming teen. So I'm not even ashamed. So at that point, the doctor came in and is like, no, that was now my own OBGYN. She came in and she put her hand in my cervix and she's like, oh my god, this lady is 8 centimeters gone. That was very fast. Morayo, you're going to have a fast delivery. I said, I can't take it again. No, I'm not hearing what you're saying. And I said, okay, let us bring one. I can't even remember. Is it pitocin or something? So one injection that will make things go easier for you. It will act like an anesthesia. I said, injection? I don't want injection. Don't give me injection. They say, it's as if you're not feeling pain. I was thinking, I'm feeling pain, but I don't want injection, I don't want needles. They say, this woman, are you even drip to collect drip? I don't want needles. Are you sure you're feeling this pain? I said, I'm feeling the pain, but needles, like the fear of needles, I don't know what they've done. I'm so glad I'm over that phase. I am so glad. Anyway, so the doctor was like, and I said, well, can I get the epidural? Because, so according to my birth plan, I had planned to go natural all the way. I just wanted to see if I could do it. I had heard so many opinions on positive childbirth, on natural childbirth, on vaginal delivery, on epidural. I'd had all my facts gathered together, and I opted for natural. In fact, doctor told me that should she have the epidural as standby when we were drafting the birth plan together. I said no, I wanted natural. See me at 8 centimeters shouting, help me get the epidural! This, that, epidural. Doctor said, calm down. I said, no, you can't understand. Don't tell me to calm down. Don't tell me to calm down if it was doing my situation, you know. She said, before this traffic, before the guy will get here, I said, I don't care. They said, you may have delivered. You're already 8 cm and you move very fast. You may have delivered. I said, I don't care. So the guy, it took about 30 minutes. The guy got there at 4:30. They didn't even check how dilated I was. They just moved me to the birthing bed, and they stripped me, and then they had actually stripped me before then, but they unloosened, there's this hospital clothes, they unloosened it, and then the guy brought out this super big needle, and I'm like, what is going on? And he's like, you better sit still, it has already come, they've already paid for it, and epidural costs money. And he said, sit still, or it's going into your spine if you don't want to risk anything. So I start still with the pain, the contractions. He said, tell me when you're feeling a contraction, and then I told him when I was feeling it, and then this thing went into my spine. The pain of that one and the contraction and everything, and I was like, oh my god. So anyways, I took epidural, and after a while it was done. I hope you guys are enjoying my story thus far. And after a while it was done, and I don't even know what happened. I just knew that I slept off. Like, the thing was so, like, I don't know how, it was like magical. It took off the pain, like totally. Now, unknown to me, the epidural that the guy gave me had been diluted. Had been diluted so that I could still feel the contractions after a while to be able to push. Because I was already close to the end. 10 centimeters dilation is the end of the whole cervix opening thing. So yeah, so he diluted it by 3 parts so that it would not totally the effect could wear off easier and would not totally take over my body, and I would not be able to then have my contractions or feel my contractions, or he didn't want it to delay the process of giving birth as such. All of this, when I woke up eventually, was like past 5. So I woke up and I was looking around, where's my husband, etc. And I said, oh, he just stepped out briefly to have lunch. I said, he's going to have what? I'm delivering, he's having lunch. That's how the doctor now said, please calm down, madam, please calm down. He too is walking. He too is doing something, like, let him go and eat. And I said, okay, I could begin to, in fact, what woke me up was that I was beginning to feel the contractions again. They said, really? That's still kind of fast. I said, yes. I was beginning to feel the contractions. And I said, okay, what will happen is that they will check me, but I should wait first, let my husband come before anything. At 06, that was when my husband said to come. I was already in serious pains. I was like, please, where is that epidural? They should give me again. They say no, they can't give me again until they check me. So they checked me, and then I was 10 centimeters at that time. They're like, madam, no, I think I was 9 or so. I was close to the end. I was 9. They said, madam, you're already at the end though. We don't, let's not give you this thing. I said, no, give me, help me. Yeah, won't die, I'm dying, won't die, etc. I was speaking of like this. I was like, what's going on here? At that point, they now said, okay, they'll give me a little pad, they'll give me something just to calm me down. They didn't know that the effect of the thing will wear off so fast in my body. So they gave me another shot. But the thing did not completely take away the pain or I could still feel the contraction somehow, but the pain subsided very significantly. With that, they opened my legs, checked me again. At that time, around past 6, I was 10 centimeters gone already, dilated. And then they now said, okay, so when you feel a contraction, push. At that point, some of my membranes had not broken, my water had not broken, my mucus plug, so they had to do it. The doctor did it manually, right? After that, things started to move really, really fast. I could then begin, my tummy was distorted. The baby had really calmed down. If you saw my tummy, I didn't even understand what it was looking like. Was it like a deflated balloon? And things were distorted. My husband has pictures. I don't know if I can paste. I'll look for it. If I can paste, I'll paste the picture here. He didn't really take pictures because he was the frenzy of the moment was overwhelming for him. There are sometimes I'll say don't take it, and sometimes I'll say take it, confusing the young man. Anyways, so yeah, at about past 6, yeah, the baby was already crowning, his head was there. So just say, oh yeah, push him. We can see his head, push. That's how I was pushing. I say I'm pushing. All the things I learned. All the lessons that I learned online on how to push, I practiced it. They said, Morayo, you're not doing anything, you're not working. I said, ma, I'm pushing with all my life. I cannot. If I push what I'm doing, my intestine will come out. I am pushing. God. The woman said, Morayo, you're trying, but you're not trying enough. So I continued. Actually, she pulled my husband aside. She said, I think she said she's actually really trying. She's actually really pushing. At that time, I was even shouting to see, but it's like the baby is stuck in the birth canal or something like that. So will you allow us to, use a vacuum extraction method to bring him out, etc. And then my husband was like, of course, he had to sign on everything, and I agree. So that was how the vacuum extraction, the assisted birthing method came in. So what is a vacuum extractor? It's a machine that uses suction to help pull out the head of the baby, and it is actually very dangerous. It's dangerous for both mommy and baby because it can rupture things. But that's why I said thank God I was in small clinic because the doctor was very experienced. So the first thing she did for me was that she just cut my vagina. She gave me an episiotomy. I didn't feel it, but I knew something happened. I knew she did. She said, Maria, I'm about to cut you. Like, she cut so that the machine could go in to pull out the child. So they could see the head of the child. So what she said is that when you're having a contraction, let me know so you push and then I pull. So we did it about 3 times, and at the 3rd time, I just felt something. I felt like, I don't know how to, like an ease, like something was removed. It was like an moment. And from there on, it was very easy. You know, some people say that after you deliver the child, the placenta is skinny cockedy. No, once the baby came out, that moment was, oh God, it was magical. I don't know how to describe it. Once my baby came out, they gave my baby to me. For the first minute, you know, they say hold the baby to your chest. I wanted to hold my baby. I just kept speaking in tongues. I kept prophesying. It was such a powerful moment because everybody stood still. The nurses, the doctors, my husband was on my side. We just kept prophesying and speaking in tongues over this child, this new life. I was crying. I didn't expect I can still feel, I didn't expect the overwhelm of the emotions of I didn't expect the surge of love and the emotions. I was like, is this what love means? Is this what it means to love somebody without knowing the person? Is this what it means? The urge to protect, the urge to keep keeping, to hold, to have. He kept speaking in tongues. You know, and that's how they say, you know, after like 2 minutes of doing that, because it felt like forever. After like 2 minutes, I even wish they allowed me. They said, Madam, your baby is okay. Take him away. You are the one we are particular about because, you know, they still had to do the placenta and there was a lot of blood. My husband still says the blood was so much. But did you see this, my husband? Oh, his hands. Even when he was not smiling, laughing when the boy came out. I was like, your husbands are crying. My one is his heart is very getting back. He was even calling people. The nurse was saying, is it not too early to call? He's very happy. He was very happy. So at that time, what she did was to help me birth the placenta. She used her hands to, I don't know how she did it. She massaged the placenta out, and it was just easy. The placenta came out very easily. Then there's the, I don't know whether it's the cord, the umbilical cord was still dangling out of mine. So as she was massaging, she was pulling the placenta out, massaging, pulling the cord and pulling, and it was just so easy. That one too came out very easily and with a flow of blood. So there was a lot of blood in everything. And that was how, you know, Joshua was born, placenta disposed, etc. And calling people, you know. So another interesting or wonderful part of this whole, you know, story was normally when people take an epidural, they're so weak, you know, they have to be lifted, carried. But you know the way I used to form Voltron, I'm good. Even on my naming, I was tired, but I was still forming happy Voltron. By the way, this is the dress I wore for my naming. I wore it today. The dress is very significant, and this is the crown I used for my baby shower. So it's a significant day. Moving on. So when almost immediately my husband had gone out, they had gone to call people. My sister came in briefly, saw me. Maybe I don't know whether she saw the blood that ran back, you know. Oh my days. But yeah, the baby was delivered, so they went to clean the baby and everybody was excited about the baby. So for a little while, you know, I was just with the doctor. The doctor was suturing, like sewing the place of the episiotomy, sewing it back into neatness. Guys. So when the doctor finished, you know, they said you're going to have to stay here a while, you know, for the epidural to wear off before we lift you to your room upstairs. I said, I feel good, I feel okay. They said, you may feel okay, but you're not able to stand. I said, I feel good, I'm coming down. I came down and I landed on my, I couldn't stand. I'm like, wow, you are actually right, I can't stand. He said, we told you, madam, we told you, we told you. I said, just carry me up. And then after taking 1 or 2 steps, I actually walked with them. They were like, wow, you did sharp, but you strong. You are strong. I walked with them to the new room with my baby. And that night was another story, but yeah, I'll give you the gist of breastfeeding. That night was not fun, it was not funny. I'll give you that gist much later, maybe in season 2. So that's the end of our story. That's the summary and the end of our story. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Yeah. Praying you a beautiful week ahead, a week of ease, a week of power, glory, a week of testimonies, a week of birthing things. And for those who are tapping into the blessing, you know, if you're pregnant and you're hoping for a beautiful, fast delivery, especially. My delivery was fast. Oh, yeah, I didn't tell you the time my baby was born. It was born at 7:30. Actually, some minutes to 7:30. And it was born 2.8 kg. A normal size baby. So that's it. That's how my baby Joshua Tireniolua Izuchukwu Ahunanya was born. I hope you guys really. I do hope you enjoy the story. It wasn't too long. Let me know if you'd like to know any other thing or any other things. Next week we're going to be talking about how labor pain feels and what is Braxton Hicks. We'll talk about all those things next week. If you have any other questions for me, I am here. I'll talk to you later. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.